Call the meeting. Call the meeting to order at 6:05. You can all stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, declare quorum, disclose conflict of interest. Adjustments to the agenda.
None.
Public to speak on non-agenda items.
Yeah. Speaking, yeah.
Good on that.
Information so you know what I'm talking about. Back in 1998, we bought lot 8 and Lake House Green subdivision, residential subdivision. And at that time, it was in bankruptcy. We understood that when it came out of bankruptcy, it would be part of the HOA. And then in 2000, group of investors approached the town, I guess. Asked for a modification to the subdivision rules. And amend the subdivision. And create, so they could create a timeshare resort. And the CEO at that time, Bob Griscom. There's a copy at the back of that paperwork there, a page out of the covenants of the Lake House Green subdivision. He underlined in circles and concerns that would be violated if they did that. So they did purchase the other 27 lots out of the 30 that were available. And built the subdivision. In 2014, the state administratively dissolved the HOA because they didn't appoint a representative, registered agent. And then Rangeley Lakes Resort sold the timeshare to Festiva, which is the timeshare company, which is owned by Zealander, which is a consumer debt collection agency with a BB rating of F and a customer satisfaction rating of 1 out of 5. So in 2020, Festiva and Rangeley Lake Resort filed an affidavit with the Registry of Deeds in Farmington stating that they owned lot 8. And then they resurrected the Lake House Greens HOA, stating that they had 100% of the owners approving that resurrection, which they didn't. Then I began receiving dues notices from the HOA. Now, I don't use any of their infrastructure. No roads, no electric, no water, no sewer, nothing. When I contacted them, they responded with paying the dues for a federal property. In the last quarterly association dues, the dues doubled. They went from 540 a quarter to 1,080 a quarter. And with the interest and late fees and everything over the last couple of 3 years, it's over $7,300 now. Now, there was obviously an oversight made when the town granted them change of use from a residential subdivision to a timeshare resort without any consideration for the whole owners that existed at that time. So I'm in a predicament now when they're going to take my property, and I don't have. I hired a couple of lawyers, and they said facts of law don't make any difference. They're just going to bury you in litigation. It costs you so much money that you're gonna be forced to sell it. I was wondering if there's something the town could do, because obviously, Bob Griskin knew back then that the covenants were gonna be violated. Because there wasn't supposed to be any businesses allowed in that subdivision, and it's supposed to be residential houses only.
And you're lot 8,
Yes,
so you are in the subdivision. Am I right?
we were in Lake House Springs, yes. We had no inkling that it would ever turn into a timeshare resort.
So I can tell you, my opinion would be, we would have to turn this over to the Board of Selectmen. See what they would think. Do we know when the next selectmen's meeting is? The
Whatever
18th.
Monday is.
Do you have until the 18th?
16th.
16th?
Monday.
Yeah, that could be.
I think the first thing is, if you believe they're using the property in a way they're not approved for. That would be the first thing to kind of look into, what is approved there. Right, if it's a subdivision, that's a split of lots, if they were built as single family dwellings on a lot. Under the requirements of the subdivision. Are they, I don't know, that, are they owned by separate people, managed by a company, or are they all owned by a single entity?
They're all owned by a single entity trustee, but
Okay, so that's something that we need to be confirmed, you know, by the tax rolls, these are all things we can look into, but we need like a formal. Complaint of use, violation of use, which I guess is what you're here to do.
well, there's a page there that came right out of the covenants that Bob Griscom had at that time, and he circled some violations, so underlined.
Understood, but covenants are typically not something the town gets involved in enforcement with. That's a civil matter, if it's not something that a board explicitly put a approved stamp on. And that's something that I've gone in the past 2 years to the town attorney on multiple times to get clarification on. Of what can the town enforce as far as subdivision covenants and rules. So there is some gray area in there, whether the town can do anything with covenants or not.
So I think what you just said, if you could write that down on a piece of paper and file that as a complaint with the
It would
town,
come, yeah, to the code.
then it would
enforcement
start a
office.
process of where people would have to look at.
Okay.
So,
File the,
Your concerns that they're operating a commercial business, what you're saying in a residential zone subdivision, where you have covenants that prove no, I'm assuming no commercial operations are allowed.
correct.
That
you
would
may
be
be right, you may be right.
And then we'd have to do some finding of facts, right? There would be, you know, we'd have to look at the properties, the use, what is allowed. What the town can enforce, what we can't enforce. And obviously we can relay that back to you. If it's found they are operating in violation of what was approved, then it would be referred from the code enforcement office. There's a couple steps we have to make, but it ultimately would end up with the board of selectmen for action. If it is found to have a violation and they won't voluntarily resolve the violation.
Well, I'm sure they're not gonna voluntarily resolve that, they want
But
the property.
there is a process that needs to be followed and we need to document it if it has to go to if they are in violation and they're refusing to, you know, comply willingly. There is a legal avenue, but again, we have to follow the ordinance and document the process.
And who do I give this to once I write it up?
Let's do it.
And you,
I'm Carl.
I know you're correct.
Yep, you can give it to either one of us and we'll log it and we'll start the process of looking into the subdivision history. We'll go through the subdivision approval notes, the revisions that you referenced here, what came back. We've kind of got to build the history from the town perspective of what happened and why.
Our conversation at the site has been documented, so everything you told me and discussed with me has been documented.
Okay,
All right,
thank you. Would you like your paperwork back?
yeah, if you don't have any need for it.
Thank you.
We can definitely provide that to us your violation, as much information as you can give to us, will help.
All right. Okay, review of minutes, September 27th, 2023, regular meeting. I need a motion to accept. I'll make the motion, accept the minutes. Second. All in favor? Correspondence.
No.
Continuing business, shoreline zoning permit. 281 Ball Mountain, map 020 lot 009, complete finding of facts. Henry Dorman. Standing, the applicant has standing to present this application as the owner. That's my motion.
Second that.
All in favor? Authority, the planning board has the authority to consider this request for repair or replacement of a structure as required by section 38-3-3-5 of the Rangeley Town Code. The code enforcement officer made a determination on April 20th, 2023. The applicant's proposed building permit is within the required setbacks of the normal high water line of the water body Moosuc-Maguntic Lake. And so the application has been referred to the planning board. That's my motion.
Second that.
All in favor? In determining whether a practical alternative exists as section required 38-3-3-5-2 of the Rangeley Town Code, the planning board shall consider the following: A, the size of the lot; B, the shape and slope of the land; C, the location of other structures on the property and adjacent properties; D, the location of septic systems and other on-site soils suitable for septic systems; E, the existing architectural plan; F, the potential for soil erosion; G, the type and amount of vegetation to be removed to accomplish the relocation. Based on 3AG above, the planning board finds there is not a practical alternative, retaining the original floor area and volume of the structure within the required setback. That's my motion.
Second down.
All in favor? Due to the nature and size of the expansion, the planning board requests that there is not mailed, written notice is not mailed to the direct abutters of the property as part of consideration for significant adverse impact upon the value and right of quiet possession of surrounding properties. That is my motion.
Second.
All in favor? Conditions, if any, required to ensure compliance with the above sections of the Rangeley Town Code. No conditions.
No, because you had all those permits from.
Yeah, determination based upon the proceedings, finds and conclusions, the applicant for this project within shoreland zoning is hereby granted. That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, Mr. Dorman, for getting that DEP permit. Thank you. Okay. Shoreland zoning permit 2718 Main Street, map 035, lot 019A. Request for reconsideration. So what's come to light tonight is that there may be something in chapter 1000 that does speak about the impediment of another's view on the water. That we can't get clarified tonight. Also, technically, I should recluse myself from this particular vote, and out of respect, I will. That brings us to the point where we technically don't have a quorum to even vote on it. So I would like to table this until our next meeting, which is October 25th. So table till October 25th. Do I need a motion on that?
Yes, you do.
Need a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Sorry,
Need that for motion, Mr. Table.
yeah, the motion is to table till October 25th. So that'll give us some time to look into that. Because that came to us tonight. That wasn't something that we knew, so. New business?
None.
Okay, next meeting, October 25th, 2023 at 6 P M. I'll adjourn the meeting at 6:21 P M.
Me. Anybody?
Thank you.
And your vote?
All in favor?
Yeah.